Okay, chapter 4. Whole Veyosaguf Bori, we're showing the body being healthy and complete, Midarke Hashemu. That's, if one behaves this way, it's the way of God. To have a healthy body and a complete body, functional. He says, it is impossible to understand or to know, meaning to fully grasp something about God if you're not well. Meaning you have to have your full faculties. There should be no distraction, nothing detracting from that clarity. I'll give you an example. A person feels agitated. Although you say something to me, and a person can be very smart, one doesn't have the capacity or the patience to be able to fully absorb the import of what's being said to you, because whatever else is going on at that moment. A person's not well, that means the system, the body is not functioning as a healthy entity, mentally, emotionally, physically. It's all one total system. And now to be able to grasp and see certain things, to internalize them, and to have the full import of that. Rambam says it's not possible. He says, impossible if you're not well. You have something on your mind, and I tell you something. If what you have on your mind is enough of a distraction, you're not going to be a beneficiary of what I'm sharing with you, because that's called distraction. Not being well, that's innate in the person. And therefore, as a result of that, it's something which emanates from the whole system, which doesn't allow that level of absorption. See, you're distracted with an external something. So good. So somehow, if you're able to push that out of your mind, you could regain full focus. But if a person's not well, that's something that's part and parcel of what you are. As a result of that, he says it's impossible to grasp and understand God fully as you should understand him. Okay, that's what he says. Lefichoch. Tzorich laharchik odom atzmo midvorim hama'abdim nisaguf. Person has to distance himself from anything which destroys the body, which compromises the physicality of the person. Lahanik atzmo midvorim hamavrim hamachlibin. And to conduct yourself with involvements or experiences which mavrim make the body healthy, or machlima or heal. Ve'eluhein, and what is that? Lo yochel odom el kshuroiv. You should not eat unless you're hungry. He's teaching you how to maintain health. You eat, you have to feel a degree of hunger. Lo yishte el kshutzomik. You should only drink when you're thirsty. And you should not withhold your function, your bodily function, even for a moment. Whenever you have to urinate, or to defecate, you should stand up immediately and go do your bodily function. Rambam here is speaking as a doctor. The other thing about that, it's impossible to understand God, fully internalize that he's speaking as a great Torah sage. Now he's talking as a doctor, so how do you maintain your health? So he's telling you, if you not to eat only when you're hungry, to drink only when you're thirsty, not to withhold yourself from urination or defecation, even for a moment. Lo yochel adam atishmali kreso elo yiftos. You should not eat to the point where you're full, you fill your belly, eat less. Come on, revia sivoso, a quarter less than your full capacity. And while you're eating, you should only drink a small amount of water. And the small amount of water you drink should be diluted with wine. This I always understood the Rambam, in his day, water had all kinds of bacteria or maybe parasites in it. So by putting the wine in it, which has alcohol or whatever it is, and it's wine specifically, that neutralizes the water. And once the food starts digesting in a system, shows it. You drink the amount that you should drink. A person has to drink, they recommend you should drink 2 liters a day or whatever it is. Water, that's when you start drinking. But not when the body hasn't yet begun the digestive system, digesting the food you've eaten. Excuse, I'm sorry. You should not drink too much water. Even when the food is fully digested. Do not drink too much. I mean, it's a known fact. You have to have a certain amount of what's it called? Potassium, salt, sodium. You have to have certain things in your body. Water, if you hydrate yourself too much, it can actually dilute the basic necessities of chemicals in the body, and the body starts malfunctioning. You drink other beverages. That's why people drink what they call Gatorade, or it maintains the what's it called?
Electrolytes.
Electrolytes in the body. Too much water, it actually dilutes the electrolytes. Okay? And even the Gatorade, it has sodium in it. There's a certain sodium content to maintain that. Okay? So even after first he's speaking about the body being able to digest, there has to be the digestive process already. But even then, don't drink too much water. But he speaks about water. He doesn't like drink wine or drink some other beverage. And you should not start eating until you've checked yourself very well. Shema yid from the kovav, because maybe you have to do your bodily functions. The body functions best when it's actually cleansed. You should take a stroll before you eat. Just get the body active, movement. There should be movement. The body has to warm up. There's warm-up time. You can't go from 0 to 180. Where the body goes into full function, it's gradual. It starts warming up the internal organs, the heart, or whatever it is. Either you walk or you do some kind of work, which is strenuous effort. Or you actually toil. Yisyageh means literally yigeh is something which takes effort, and some other effort involved activity. And only then you eat, because the system has to be warmed up. Before you exercise, you do stretching. Stretching is not this. It's not this. Stretching is because the body is not flexible. So if you go and you strain it, it could actually cause injury. That's injury. Here we're talking about warming up the system. Stretching is to be more flexible. So when you enter into do those physical actions, those moves, you should not tear a ligament or strain muscle or tear muscle. It's a different concept. What's the rule of thumb regarding health? Yane gufo. You should afflict your body. Affliction means to do something which is strenuous. V'yagea kol yom baboker. Every morning, you should do something which is strenuous, even slightly painful. Achiyaschu gufa lochom v'yishkot ma'at. To warm up, and then you rest slightly until emotionally you calm down. Catch your breath before. Person have in terms of cardiac, you get on that bike, you work your way up, you get the heart up to so many beats, then gradually you slow down. And that's the siyashi. The body now slows down. And if you bathe in hot water after, was that calms one. That calms one. The hot water after you've exercised. Then after you wash yourself with hot water, you bathe, you wait a moment, and then you eat. So now the body is in a relaxed, totally relaxed state. It's ready for absorption, to absorb. It's interesting. People, they jump out of bed, they get ready to go to work, get dressed, they're out of the door in the office. Now they're engaging. I'm talking about in terms of the brain, intellectuality of the brain. Let's say a Jew lives as an appropriate Jew. You get up in the morning. The moment you open your eyes, you acknowledge that you're alive. It's an acknowledgement. It's not rote. And you give thanks to God that you're alive. And then there are certain rituals. They may be rote. You wash your hands, you get dressed, then you start praying. When you pray and you're focused on what you're saying, whether it's blessings or praises of God, you're engaging, coming upon recognition, and you're activating the intellect. And if you activate the intellect within the context of blessing and praises, that touches your emotion. Because you're touched, you're giving thanks. That means you're appreciative, and that's why you're giving thanks. It's a respond to being a beneficiary. And you articulate things, why you have to be thankful. And you speak about God. So the mind is delineating and discerning their various aspects of our experiences, and us being the beneficiaries of multiple things of the present, the past, and what's promised for the future. So the mind, the brain was already engaged in a very serious level, at a very sophisticated level. You're not reading nonsense, foolishness. It's focus, every aspect, whether it's the blessings, whether it's the verses of praise, which we call Psukim de Zimra, whether it's the blessings of the Shema, whether it's the supplication, the Amida. It's all very specific and very succinct and very deep and broad. And the more you're focused, the more you're engaged. When you finish davening, appropriate davening, prayer service, you're a different person. It's literally, you've been resurrected from the dead. You're sleeping, dormant, the mind doesn't function. The mind is what is relaxing, is recovering from the previous day. Now you're ready for real time. The real time starts the moment you open your eyes and get dressed, and now you're ready for action, so to say. But that action is not physical action. That action is what is mental, emotional, and heart related, because it's your feelings. It's a medical fact. People, when they get older, although they need the hydration, very often they're not thirsty. A young person, when the person has to drink, he's thirsty. It's a different level of appetite. Appetite, thirst, everything. Person get up to older, senior citizen. He has to force himself to drink sometime because it doesn't come natural. The brain or whatever it is, it has to do with the system. You don't sense the need to drink. So he's not talking about that kind of person. You should be thirsty, except because of your age or the body is slowing down. That reminder or that sensor has been already is malfunctioning. Therefore, you got to drink no matter what. When you're younger, if you need water, you're thirsty. You're hungry. A young person's more hungry because you say he's more active. It's more than activity. His system is active. Even if he's not physically moving, his system's active. An older person that's more sedentary, even when you're moving, things move much more slowly within the body. That's a reality. I'll give you an example. God forbid a person is older and he comes down with a certain medical condition. The doctor is less concerned because God forbid it should be cancer, it moves much more slowly. A young person, that the chemistry, everything is very vibrant and active, it's much more fast moving. And therefore it has to be addressed immediately. An older person moves much more slowly, unless it's a certain type of cancer. But many cancers, and the doctor is less concerned. And he treats it differently than a younger person. It's the same idea. Because a young person, everything is active, everything is sensitive, you sense everything. You get older, things start dulling.